Hello, this is Jet Black, and welcome to Paranormal Crime Report. In these videos, I will provide information on recent paranormal investigations I have completed myself and alongside fellow crime fighters, as well as current ongoing paranormal investigations I am conducting myself and alongside fellow crime fighters. I went on multiple astral patrols with electric snow, one of which to Africa, and helped prevent a malevolent energy from spreading and infecting camps along the coast a few weeks ago. The disturbance was caused by a witch doctor who was spreading the energy in order to manipulate the people of his village. The second patrol with electric snow I was working alongside an energy being named Jada, this time using an energy beat technique known as time tunneling to close several portals that had opened up in 1820s England. Time tunneling is essentially like astral projection, but you're astral projecting through time, and we only do it when there are malevolent disturbances that occurred in certain time periods that we wish to investigate. I have recently encountered these malevolent astral beings known as collectors, which use artifacts from other worlds to conquer worlds. When I talk about worlds, I'm talking about astral domains, which are these planes within the astral world. Each can have different rules and have these different artifacts that you find on the astral plane. There are a variety of these different artifacts, and there are these beings called collectors that can collect these artifacts. Not all collectors are malevolent, meaning not all of them have malicious intent to use these artifacts to conquer different astral domains, but there are a select few collectors that do use artifacts for this very specific purpose, and they are a threat. And very few is a very relative term. There are thousands of collectors, and I'm saying that thousands of them do use them for malevolent purposes, but there are also thousands of others that don't. And if you're wondering how we tell the difference between collectors that use artifacts malevolently and benevolently, then the way we tell the difference is the benevolent ones aren't causing problems, the malevolent ones are. It's clear when you astral project to a domain, you can tell whether or not a collector has influence simply by they're the ones in charge, the other entities in the domain are relatively enslaved, and you can tell that they're using the artifacts in order to affect or control the beings in that domain. And as paranormal crime fighters, we cannot stand for this kind of thing to happen, which is why we are heavily against the collectors. So, as a part of standing up against the collectors, I am working with 10 other paranormal crime fighters to help confront and defeat them. I have already set up this team of 10 crime fighters to work alongside, and we are working diligently in order to help these astral domains be freed from the control of these collectors and confiscating their artifacts and using their artifacts against them in order to free these astral domains. Yellow Blur, fellow paranormal crime fighter, has alerted me that the collectors are going after me personally. I believe this is because I have brought this team together in order to combat these collectors. Yellow Blur has the ability to sense and communicate with astral beings. This is without astral projection, by the way. He can simply be minding his own business and receive messages and communications from the astral plane. So he warned me about this so that I would be prepared for collectors to attack me while on astral patrols. They know what I'm doing, and they wish to combat my efforts and stop me from stopping the collectors. Silver, who is another fellow paranormal crime fighter who goes on astral patrols and is helping me investigate these collectors and combat collectors, has alerted me that there is an organization of collectors that all have a symbol of a crystal surrounded by a circle branded to their neck, that they communicate using crystal artifacts that they collect, and that they have a headquarters in an astral realm, the location of which is still unknown. One of the big things in this current paranormal investigation is to find out where the collector's astral realm headquarters is, because this would be very helpful in stopping these collectors from organizing with one another and collecting these artifacts to conquer these astral domains. Originally, since there are benevolent collectors and there are malevolent collectors, we believe that these malevolent collectors were not organized. They're simply another malevolent collector. but we didn't think they were all in cahoots with one another. Silver, with her astral patrol and finding out that there are many collectors that work together and they're using these artifacts to communicate, has revealed that these are not isolated incidents, that malevolent collectors are organized and they're within this, we don't really know what it is other than an organization of malevolent collectors. So far it doesn't seem to have a name, however it has a symbol that we can identify, and they have ways to communicate using these crystal artifacts that the collectors are collecting from these different astral domains that they're traveling to. So, using the information that Silver has given me, I was able to go on an astral patrol the other night where I used special energy constructs that allow me to easily confiscate crystals from collectors, where I would project an energy construct that would restrain the collector and then give me access to their crystals while they were restrained. I then tried to use their crystals to eavesdrop on the communication between collectors in hope of finding the location of their HQ. I overheard a meetup between collectors and then to investigate, only to find that it was a trap for me specifically. I had forgotten Yellow Blur's warning because it was after midnight while I was doing this astral patrol, and I wasn't expecting it to end up being a trap. So I ended up having to fight a beast that was made up of these crystal artifacts, and it was immune to my normal energy construct, meaning the way that I was restraining these collectors using energy constructs was not going to work on this beast. The beast was made out of the artifacts themselves, and the artifacts have been known in the past to have weird effects on astral projectors and people with psychic abilities. It can affect your psychic abilities and cause them to work in unexpected ways. It can essentially tamper with our abilities. This is another threat that the collectors have. Not only are they using them to take over astral domains, but they could use them specifically against people with psychic abilities if they wanted to tamper with their abilities and make them less effective. So, while combating the crystal beast, I had to find a new way in order to make energy constructs that could work against the crystal beast in order to get it away from me. I did not defeat the beast. I had to find a way to make the beast run off. And now, collectors have these crystal beasts with them as protection. Not all collectors, but a lot of malevolent collectors part of these organizations have learned the effectiveness of these beasts and are now using them as protection. They're strong, they're fast, and they're immune to certain energy constructs. So when you're fighting against them, because not all crystal artifacts work exactly the same, you kind of have to improvise with the form of energy manipulation you use in combating them. This investigation of the collectors is still ongoing. 2 days ago I received a message from someone who claims they are being attacked by astral entities. Silver and I are currently investigating this attack. Also got a message today from the same person, and they gave us a few more details. It doesn't seem like they're being attacked by very, very powerful emanations. It seems like a fierce presence is attacking them, and he's become very paranoid. So Silver and I are going to try and help with that as best we can. Later today I will be releasing a Rocket City crime report concerning information on recent criminal investigations completed myself and alongside fellow crime fighters. Again, this was the Paranormal crime report where I provide information on recent paranormal investigations I've completed, and the Rocket City crime report will be the one on criminal investigations like gang violence, graffiti, fugitives, warrants, etc., etc. So if you're not into paranormal crime fighting, then this video wasn't necessarily for you. If you're into criminal investigations, that video is coming up later today, so don't worry. This is Jeff Black for the Rocket City Crime Fighters, logging out.